Good morning, fellow brothers and sisters, Facebook friends, all of us. Again, the assignment is ahead of us, and whatever we see in the realm of the spirit, but we're back to see faith walking in our lives. I want to thank God this morning. Yesterday was some little bit tough time, challenges comes, and those challenges were there to strengthen us. And but we have some lapses that we try to put together. And today is one of the best, one of the days that we have talking to one of our elderly mother and woman in the ministry, a very strong woman in the ministry, mother on the assignment. So the hour of assignment, actually, as we call it, is a time that is set aside to talk to great people who are making health hotline, who are making a kind of change in the community, in the communities, in some of the things they do. The fact that the Life Empowerment Network is all about, you know, bringing people not gift, but working together to network with different partners. And she being one of our, I can say, partner, collaborative partner here at the Community Engagement Global Mission and Life Empowerment Network. I think it's a pleasure to have her on today to talk about her book, Storm to Your Destiny. And I would caution most of us, especially those of us who are a little bit who connected to me, probably like to know more about the book. Training today at 4 p.m. and Eastern time and local time there in Liberia, in London, other places is about 10 o'clock, no, 9 o'clock Liberia time. And I think in London should be 10 o'clock. But this is all about, driving this thing, and working together to make a change in our society. Tell people one thing I would never accept lack of communications, connectivity, and respect for each other, and knowing, what we're called to do and doing it with our heart. Yesterday we talked about the action, faith as action of faith, and we talked about the guys in Act chapter 2, 1 to 12. There's this boy who was sick, and his friends will have to bring him down to Jesus. And how many of us can realize that we lose our focus on time uh, and forget about the reality of mission and assignment? And I'm very much concerned about mission and assignment more than just we are coordinating, we are talking about it, and like we are promoting right now the community engagement global mission. We're promoting service that we're going to be having, creating this um, time. I mean, the service is a very nice thing because we are going to be caring for our communities, right? And you might want to contract, or you might want to look at some of the things we are doing and say, okay, I want you guys to come in and clean my facility, plant flowers, and do something for us. And then that money goes to. We're going to be talking more about it on Friday, but I just want to give you a hint about it. That money goes to the general operation, especially 35%, and then I think 30% or 70 goes to different operations, especially paying the volunteers their way back and some of the things that we do now. For right now, the organization don't have a contract to pay uh, people, so the employment aspect where you got to bring your letter of employment or whatever is not actually feasible right now. But we are mainly calling for volunteers, and then we're going to be having the first training of our volunteers on the volunteer for Change America. And this campaign continues. We launched last week Friday, and it continues until the end of this month, and then we officially launching our programs here in Trenton, New Jersey. I want to encourage those of us who are innovators and people who realize can start from the grassroots down here and come up here. The fact remains that in the absence of vision, visionary don't think. So, as even as I talk today with our mother, and someone who is, uh, kind of motivational, and talking about the issues of how I how we can drive this thing back here. I'm on live. Let me talk to you on live, and how we can drive this thing to it, not to be passive minded, not to be something else than we shouldn't have been, but to understand the role we play into the kingdom of God, because this role is so crucial that we cannot and will not abort it. The fact remains that we're in the middle of something that we're not supposed to be in, but we're in the middle of it. And I can say to anybody, you got to be innovative. You have to understand why God will call you. You don't have to be distracted by somebody, individual, wife, husband, whatever it is. Because I tell you what, the very people that you might be thinking are in your interest might only be there for a reason. So I want us to begin to collectively understand, even as we go into the storm, to our destiny, as we talk about this book tonight, 4 o'clock. I'm going to encourage people to actually purchase this book, because I think that was storms to your destiny. There are many implications. When you look at faith, you're driving faith, how you've been driven towards your vision, and no matter what happens, even if you go or anything, you're not going to kill your own vision, only because for a piece of bread. So I want to encourage you, those of us who understand what it means to be on the assignment. And I literally tell people two things about how can we drive this thing. Look, you can only drive it when you have a passion. That's the bottom line. You cannot drive anything when you don't have a passion. Passion is the center of what we do, because you see, passion is overcoming anything else. That means love is overcoming anything else that comes in the middle of maybe stopping you from reaching your destiny. Like we're talking about the book, the storm to your destiny. And there are obstacles that comes that stop you in the middle of bringing your destiny. And I show she's gonna be also collaborate. I've been elaborating on it a little bit, but this is all about driving this thing to the place where you can see your vision and come into reality, even if it would mean for me to make you to make all the sacrifices you can. I want to encourage those of us who are on the assignment. Actions is required, okay? And sometimes we don't realize that we took actions because, well, we got to jump into something. But I realized two things: life empowerment. How can we empower the next generation? Uh, you can give this person a piece of bread to eat today. Oh yes, I hand out, which is good because they got to live on. But with this handout, what are the way powerful empowerment? And community engagement is not just about human rights. And I write it on the book, The Essence of Human Rights. And I enjoyed reading the three chapters yesterday, and I was keep propounding on it, and I can't understand how I got to that place. But when I'm speaking of in terms of destiny, in terms of reaching your destiny to the place where you can realize that you want to make a change in your community, you want to make a change in your own family, you want to make a change in fact the life of people who are literally connected to you. Okay, and you don't you're not saying it as a reality that that change can come, except the person who you are talking to, who you are collaborating with, are prepared to make that sacrifice for the change. And I giving up on a lot of things here. And the fact that we make these sacrifices, the fact that we want to make these sacrifices. Does not mean that we don't know what we're doing. We understand mission, we understand the assignment, we understand where God is taking us, but God is not going to come hold our hands to take us there. And I was looking at, a lot of people when you go back a little bit. I'm going to be talking more about it in the ministry when it comes to next week. We have to miss our spiritual insight on Wednesday yesterday because we're in the middle of that's what I'm saying. And I tell you what, man, this is a bigger dream that seems to be small to the people who think small. And if you look at your dream to be big, then you have to make it a reality. I want to thank God for you guys, man. Well, especially some of the guys around here, even the Episcopal, my friend, Brother Ren John, very nice man, and a guy, man, who understand when people rights have been marginalized and understand the will of God for his life and why collaboration is so good. I tell you two things about collaboration brings to the table. It brings networking, it brings those things to the table, and it starts from networking and go into partnership if you wish to go into it, and a lot involved when it comes to giving back. Even giving back to your community, the community got to take part. So there's a two-sided stuff. It's not one-sided. So if people is going back to you, what are you giving back to them? Appreciation, like let's say, well, I will go back in your community and want to cleaning all of time, making your community, all the communities safe and clean. Every week we send our volunteer up there to make sure that part of our community is clean because we see that many times during the summer that place is filthy, right? And well, people are not giving back to appreciate what we're doing, then it becomes a problem. That's why sometimes when I come out to say, oh, I see that people are focusing on this, they're not focusing on this. So they don't give to this, they give to that. So, but we want to encourage people, keep encouraging people because we have the passion to do what we're doing. We are not just doing it because we want to do it. That is the bottom line. In the absence of anything else, we are creating not just job. What we're creating is a space to grow and take responsibility, learning to lead. So if you look at the T-shirt, I'm gonna be posting that T-shirt up here, and uh, probably you can purchase one of the teacher. As you purchase one of the teacher, you are donating to the community engagement project. And this whole month we are mobilizing, and we're gonna be talking more about it this Friday. While we're talking about religious tolerance, we're gonna be talking more about why it is essential to be part of the Volunteer for Change America or Volunteer for Change Liberia, Volunteer for Change Kenya. Is a thoughts, okay? We share with people that we think, in the absence of maybe donations, in many cases, that of our wants is free around. But in many cases, in your first year, like we are on the first year, second year, the second year, you see something popping up, pow, and you don't you understand. Maybe gonna make it a year. I'm talking about legally, but maybe we'll make it 6 years when it comes to since we've been in existence, the community engagement global mission. And I think no 5 years. I think is just more than driving this thing here and understanding that God has a purpose for us and for you who watching me tonight, this morning, wherever you are. And I want to encourage you in the Lord. I want to say to all of us that taking your time, someday to talk to somebody out there that might have been going through some difficult situation that they not going to really, really bear. And I want to encourage us to join us in this initiative. I'm so not just overwhelmed about what God wants to do in my life, but I think it is more likely and more important to express it the way we do. I think it's very much important for all of us to work together and to make a change in our society. It's a better future for all of us. And you might be down. I'm not way down there. You might be thinking, oh God, um, I need to come up here. But how do you come here when you are here? There are a lot of challenges will come on the way, and obstacle will come to stop you in the middle of the storm. So you see the storm. So there are storm to your destiny, right? I like that. I like that book actually. And you got to remove that storm, okay? And how every time you see Joseph climbing up the ladder, have to refuse his boss's wife, and we're looking at all the different things that he went through. That was a storm to his destiny, and he really bit that storm up, and he came to be where God took him. But it was those storms that were there. It could be a storm of financial barriers, it could be a storm of marital problems, it could be a storm of business hindrances, it could be a storm of customer service, a lot of different stuff. But the good thing about what God could be doing in your life, in my life, is that God is planting a seed on the assignment. Until that seed germinates, until we as a people realize that we have something inside of us that we can drive this boat up here and we can drive it here. Now, so not into distant future, we're going to be talking more about the Volunteer for Change America. That is our code name, the Community Engagement Global Mission. We see our bylaw and constitution right after the name. You see Volunteer for Change America, and you can see Volunteer for Change Liberia. As we extend, we want to believe in God. Those of us who want to be part of it, we coming up with this global Intech network that is going to be a business coordination between the community engagement and communities. That is going to be set up in Liberia, the sub office there. We believe in God to we start some work already. We believe in God. That's two sources. Provision will be made, and whatever God says, I'm going to be putting up GoFundMe. I'm going to be talking about it, and I'll tell you what. I want to see the interest. I don't want to see that I will be interesting you or forcing you to become something or to become part of something. No. The reason is because when you keep forcing people to be part of something, tomorrow they're going to be telling you, I didn't want it to be. You the one put me into this thing here. Always take your time to read, to observe, and begin to push things so that you can see that that person or those people really want to be volunteer, okay, or want to be part of what you're doing. You see, because people got to see. Sometimes people want to see transparency. People want to see, but you can't see transparency in the wake of no luck. You can see transparency in the little beginning and where some things are coming up. And as visionary, no visionary will actually. I'm talking about. I'm not just talking about visionary, but true visionary people who have vision that want to change, become a change agent for their community. Will never want to see a downfall in their own vision. No, it's not possible. They want to see the vision uplifted before God called them home on the assignment. I want to encourage those of us who are very faithful. My friend, all of us, Sarah Abraham, great woman, all she always online and propagating the gospel. We have, Dr. Speaking, all these great people. Never forget you guys. So share the Dr. Unika, um, like Rookie, who is on the show today. We have a lot of us, most of us. I can say barely call the name Evangelist, Cynthia, and the rest of the guys. Brother Dr. Ogungo and um, brother Thomas. It's his Asibeta from the United States Institute, who is one of our big collaborator collaborative partner for the past 3 years. But well, every time you drive to something, like I said, partnership or collaborating partner, whatever we are, is a two-way street, never the one-way street. So anytime you see it to be a one-way street, then you gotta let it go so that you can understand what you're doing. I think that way we are, even in relationship. It's not one way street. By the time you notice that you the one put it in all the time, all the time, and you're not noticing any interest, well, you try to draw about a little bit so that it can become a burden on someone who does not really want to be part of what you're doing or don't want to be part of your relationship. Don't never. And mine got a lot of advice to partners when it comes to intimate partner, domestic partner, when it comes to maybe coordinating partner and even partnership, donors and everything. Make sure to guard yourself against anything that will be infringing on other people's right. There are people that don't want to, they don't want to be part of your vision. They don't want to be part of you, even as even married couple or whatever thing. You don't have to force people into your life, okay? And you don't have to prove that you are the best woman or man who need something, or probably you are the best organization. Everything that you do in life, having it to be a balanced situation, because tomorrow, so that you cannot have yourself to be blamed. Why didn't I do this or that? So I want to encourage those of us who are very active and not passive minded to think about something that is not possible. And I want to encourage you in the Lord, because in Christ all things are possible. In Christ. And driving this boat, we're driving to the rest of our lives, making it possible for us to understand that don't infringe on the other guy. They deserve to live a better life. Don't infringe on their rights. Don't think that, well, they don't realize that they need to have some space. Sometimes someone will tell me, look, give me some more space. They might not be telling you straight, but they might be telling you in actions. Give me some more space. And organization, different group will be telling you, give me some more space. My man, you too much. My man, you get calling me and this and that. Because of the motivation, because of what you desire to do, you always want to see it happen. So you want to keep pushing it. You don't want to be a person. And I always tell people, don't be on the fence. Don't be a deceitful person who's saying something and don't mean what you're saying. Then, of course, you're going to hide the other person or the other organization. Because what happens, the other organization or person might be thinking straight, oh, this is what I want us to do. And you might be thinking, no, I don't want to do it, but you're not saying it, right? So it's kind of two-sided, not one-sided. And I just want to encourage those of us who are interested in becoming a part of the Volunteer for Change America, part of our programs. We think that we can drive this boat together. I can't do it on my own. No, it's not possible. I can say, okay, let's go, but maybe we have a contract. Let's go and do it because we need some money. See, the whole thing about our cleaning service is like something that is much more not going to be coming up, like I said, tomorrow, but it's going to be an extra time because I'm going to be showcasing, talking about it more before we get into our main programs. And it's going to be at 10, and then the program is at 12. So, again, I have to drive this thing, and I have to drive it with all my heart. I don't want to deceive people in my persuasions, in my I'm trying to admonish to you. I'm trying to motivate you. I'm trying to make you to be the way you feel. Sometimes the way you don't feel. And each time we talk about kingdom business, we'll be talking about developing the kingdom. Now we cannot develop a kingdom if we hate. No, we cannot develop a kingdom if we don't give people the benefit of the doubt to speak their mind. We can't develop a kingdom if we don't give people to make their decision. We cannot. To our Liberian brothers and sisters, I am very much disgusting, and it's unfortunate that Liberians should make a choice as we go closer to any elections, and even have the opportunity to impeach anybody who is acting like probably madness. And I tell you, man, we need to go back and think about, like Sarah was talking about, how to call it mental illness. We're talking about it lengthily, and I can see that there's a need to extend and to have to help other, because there are mental ill, different organizations back in Liberia that deal with mental ill situation. So we need to boot up that. We need to have more awareness on mental health issues, because I will tell you, man, there are people in the house, there are people around that are in big position going through mental health crisis. So we need to begin to look at that situation. I'm going to be talking more about this because I can see that there's a need for massive awareness to our communities. because that's what the community engagement is all about. Let the people be aware what is mental illness. So when they see it in the person, they're not going to elect them into power. We need more awareness because you see, nobody in the right mind will behave the way some other people behave. We can see them on Facebook. Nobody, no dignifying person who's supposed to be more unique. There are some of the things I do right. Maybe in some institution when I get there, I might not be able to do it because diplomacy require me to be calm, to be, the way I should conduct myself. Then I also have to go in line with it because I want to serve my community. I want to serve for the reason why I went to be elected. That's a two different things. Okay, you can decide to live a private life and do anything at the time. When you get into certain things, when it comes to diplomacy, then of course you need to behave yourself because it actually accounts. People look at you. People look. Not only that, the whole world. It's crazy. So again, I want to say to all Liberians, we should be making choices, but we should be making good choices because it has to do with our future. It has to do with how Liberia, where Liberia is going. We usually like leaders who don't carry grudge in their heart, because sometimes we make mistakes when they're not in power. Sometimes you can see some recklessness, something that you can see. You don't have to dictate, okay? That you can see in our culture. And I want to encourage those of us who are very much, I would not say innovative, kind of discerning and able to understand what is happening in our country right now politically. When you look at the political landscape, then you have to make a judgment for yourself for 2029, concerning where the country is going after the blackout administration. Because we just going 1 year, we're in the second year, and let's see the third year, and then you will be able to determine whether the vice president or who is next to him go back, or whether you can look for a leader who you think in your mind will be in the interest of the nation. And this is why we're going to be moving. Our platform is not about politics. It's about the people. It's about development. It's about changing our communities. The only way we can change our community is in the interest of the people, not in the interest of only our big people. So let's talk about it, and we can begin from right there in our community. Rights and responsibility is what we promote here. So again, I want to thank God for you guys, and let's do the best we can to change our relationships, the way we think, the way we address people, the way we treat others. Let begin to put ourselves in order and understand where God is calling us. We can put our more time and make a change in our society. God bless you, and you have a good day, man. Until we see you at 4 o'clock today, 4 hours from now, I'll be right there, talking about our storm to your destiny. And don't forget that you can say storm to your destiny, but if you're not actually focused, um, those storms will not. And because those storms are there, and it's placed there to stop you in the middle of your dream, not to allow you to go. So just remember that when we talk about storm to your destiny, it is not to give you the time for you to think that, well, it's going to be all going to be bread and butter. No, it's not going to be bread and butter for us. Never would it be bread and butter for me. So I want to encourage you in that, and pray that God give us the understanding of how we got to where we are. Thank you, and have a blessed day. The next time we see is at 4